time for revenge. Good evening, everybody. Hello and welcome back to the Dugout Football channel, where it is time for the live match preview of Liverpool against Chelsea. Probably the biggest game so far this season. We've only had 2 games so far, but these two teams are on 100% record. So something has to give on Saturday evening at 5:30. Joining me to do this live match preview is my right-hand man of the World of Football podcast. It is Mr. Josh Bell. How are you, sir?
Oh, very well, very warm, very busy day, good productive day, and what better way to end the day being on the most genuine person I know YouTube channel and your channel. So very happy to be here, very happy to be a part of this, and I will have to disagree with you on the revenge bit, unfortunately. But I'm here to annoy all the Liverpool fans. That's my job today.
That's absolutely fine. And thank you very much for that. That's really, really kind of you to say. So evening to Helen and Liz Golden. I have seen both of them in the live chat as well. So it is Liverpool-Chelsea. Obviously people sort of still talk about that game from last season. Do you think you actually played this at the right time?
I don't think any team around that time played Liverpool at the right time. Obviously, Burnley and Brighton getting results at Anfield. And I think the biggest issue with you guys last year was obviously Klopp didn't really want to change away from his style of football. He wanted to play the same formation, the same high press. Obviously, you played two. I think it was Reece Williams and Phillips against us, Fabinho might have been, but you had a makeshift backline. That's how to put a full stop anyway. You played you played that incredibly high line. Obviously, Timo Werner, Mason Mount were getting a lot of space, and I think it was just the case that Chelsea were very prepared for that game, and Liverpool were in a bad run of form, injuries all over the place, and I do think it was the right time to play. I think it was the right time for a lot of people to play you around that time. Obviously, then you went on an absolutely unbeaten run. So no, it was definitely right. It was definitely the right time to play at that time. But that was our first win at Anfield in the league in an extremely long time. So hopefully that puts us in good stead going into Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, obviously Mason Mount scored the winner that day, and yeah, Timo Werner did cause us a lot of problems as well. Hello to Stephen Stubbs. Hope you're doing well. Who's that behind the stand? Go and check out that channel. I'm on there mostly every Wednesday morning doing prediction streams. So hope you are doing well, Stephen. Hi, Josh. Sorry, we're going to kick the crap out of you on Saturday. You're a great guy. Your team isn't as golden. And just to your point, Liz, I've actually been invited. This is no exaggeration because I counted it today. I've been invited onto 11 different Liverpool channels for a preview of this game. So it obviously shows like I'm not counted as a deluded Chelsea fan because like Connor, Cop Council, Cop on, Reds Forever, Yanks off the Reds or something like that, and a ton of other people have all invited me on. So Yanks of the Cop.
Something like that, yeah. There's so many of them, I can't remember.
Yeah, a little respectful banter, Helen. I genuinely like Josh. Yeah, absolutely. Some of your start to the season, obviously 2 wins from 2. Look, you beat a very good Crystal Palace side. I thought 3-0 at Stamford Bridge, and it has to be said you beat a very out of sorts Arsenal as well. It couldn't have been a better start to the season for you, could it?
Nope, not at all. A lot of players, Lukaku getting a goal on his debut. Trevor Chalobah getting his goal against Crystal Palace. Alonso is in good form. Sorry, that guy makes me sick. Alonso's actually been in good form. Jorginho looking like he's left off. Havertz looking incredibly bright in open play. So, obviously we've suffered quite heavily with a disrupted pre-season due to the Euros, due to the Olympics. We didn't actually suffer any players to the Olympics, thankfully, so that definitely has helped us. But I'm incredibly happy. We're looking really, really sharp. Some of the football we played against Arsenal, though Arsenal did make it a bit. I'm a brave soul. Yeah, I know the Liverpool fan base is an interesting place to go into. Some of the football we've been playing has been really, really good defensively. Once again, looking sound. Mendy's looking particularly good. So I'm very, very pleased with how everything's going. But we're still capable of better. I still think against Arsenal, yes, we won. Yes, we were comfortable. But there were still times that we were looking a bit open at the back. Arsenal were still getting some joys down the middle, which kind of shows what happens when we don't have Kante on the pitch. So obviously there's potential we're getting Sol, which very interesting. I don't really know what to make of that, but I'm very pleased with how things are going. I think given it's been a disruptive pre-season, the fact that we're looking at as fit as we are and we look really well drilled, everyone knows their roles. It's definitely a positive outlook. And I will say this now without being too cocky. Manchester City not getting Harry Kane definitely boosts our title challenge just a tiny bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I think people have obviously said this season is probably going to be between Manchester City and Chelsea. Do you actually see yourselves as title challengers?
With Lukaku, yes. You know, the last preview, the last time I was on your channel outside the podcast was the chat with, and I said to you time after time again, we need a strike. I said it so many times that video, and I said in that chat in that video that a striker makes us from a top 4 team to it makes it from a title challenging team. Sorry, from a top 4 team to a title challenging team, and that's exactly what we are. Like some of the fact that Lukaku, you think about Lukaku's hold of play. You know, Reece James putting incredible crosses into the box like he does week in, week out. Him bringing in Mason Mount and Havertz from the midfield. Him actually being able to score the goals and be in those positions that Mr. Timo Werner wasn't being. It's a massive, massive difference. The only thing I do slightly kind of worry about this season is the depth of Lukaku's our only number 9. Obviously, Abraham went to Roma. He got 2 assists on his open. He's got 2 assists on his open day and got a goalkeeper sent off. So I do slightly worry about that, but we're really well drilled in all positions except for number 9. So there's no reason why we shouldn't be pushing for an attack. I think we'll score goals, and I think our defense has spoke for itself over the past 9 months.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, obviously, like you have said that, you know, a lack of obviously depth at number 9 as well. Do you expect Kai Havertz to potentially play a bit of a role in number 9 if obviously Lukaku isn't available?
It's the only option that I see. I don't see. I love Timo Werner, but I think one thing that Timo Werner has proved to me, or proved to the whole Chelsea fan base, is I don't think he's a goal scorer in the Premier League. I think in the Bundesliga, it obviously worked, but I think, unfortunately, in the Premier League, it's just not going to be his strong suit. He's very good at open play. Like he makes the right runs, he stretches defenses, he runs in behind, he does all the fast stuff, but it's just clear there's something. He has that Morata effect in front of goal. He does all the right things, gets in front of goal and things. It's like he does overthink it. So, you know, he has obviously said loads of times, and he said it before the first Liverpool game last season, that he didn't actually realise how physical the Premier League is. So he will improve, but I don't see him as a number 9 in the Premier League. So the only other option is Kai Havertz, unless, because we've sent our best youth striker to Southampton. So it is the only option I see. But Havertz has proved when he's played there, he's done a really, really good job. So I just have to hope he can continue that on.
Yeah, what have you made of Liverpool so far? I mean, obviously 2 wins from 2, like I've said as well. 3-0 against Norwich, which I think was probably expected, but 2-0 against Burnley, which I think is I think it's gone a bit under the radar, considering that, you know, Burnley were the team to actually knock off the big unbeaten run at Anfield. What have you made of Liverpool so far?
I have watched Liverpool's 2 opening games of the season, and I think one thing I do think is that even though I do think Van Dijk isn't, I think all Liverpool fans agree that Van Dijk isn't fully fit yet. He's still trying to gain a bit of that match fitness, but you can just tell him being on that pitch makes the team so much better from back to front. You know, him playing from the back, just the organisation, the communication, the leadership Van Dijk shows. It clearly shows, because Liverpool, you know, even though Burnley kind of got in a few times, you know, you could just tell the big difference between, you know, what you were last season without him and what you are this season with it. Even Matip is looking very good. Obviously, I think Matip goes under the radar a bit in the Premier League. He is a really good defender, rarely has a bad game. So Liverpool are doing very well. Still slightly concerned about your midfield, because I thought Burnley did play through your midfield a bit. I don't think Jordan Henderson's a holding midfielder. I don't think he can do that role particularly well. I think that's a Fabinho role mainly. I think if Henderson played there against us, we would get a bit of joy. Harvey Elliott's an incredible young player. Some bloody talent you've got there. Though I don't think he'll start in the magnitude of this game against Chelsea, especially when the midfield battles could be very, very big in this game. Milner's obviously Milner, always reliable. Kante has actually won a few games without an injury, which is I had to check, and I wasn't dreaming when I seen that. Chamberlain's back, so I'll be interested to see. I think I'll be interested to see how you go over the season. Because for me, the fact that Firmino and Jota scoring goals from the number 9 is a bit scary because you guys having a goal scoring striker already makes that front three even more frightening. Mane scored against Salah, looking great. So you are definitely back to your original form. You're back to what you're supposed to be, and obviously the big difference going to Anfield this time is 1, your team's fully fit, and 2, your fans were back, so that just makes the game 10 more difficult for us.
Big up to Ankit, he's in the chat. Hi legends, big up guys, thank you Ankit for tuning in. I will obviously be over on RCB and Chelsea Fan TV's channel on Friday, I think it is Friday at 5:30, so obviously tune in as well. Hey now, no going after Hendo. Also it's James freaking Milner. Oh yes, honestly, whenever James Milner's name is being mentioned, just say James freaking Milner for Liz, because she absolutely adores the bloke. And I
wasn't going after Henderson. I'm just saying he definitely isn't your. I definitely just think he isn't a holding midfielder. That's pretty much it.
I agree. Jota's proven much more than Werner, and Salah and Mane are always good versus us. Shame that Pulisic isn't fit versus Liverpool. Yeah, Pulisic has he got COVID?
Yes, he's out for 10 days, so he is. I know he misses the game. He'll be back for whoever we have after you guys. I can't remember, but yes.
It's a shame because I know obviously Pulisic will obviously be memorable for Liverpool fans for obviously scoring against Manchester City to obviously win the league, and imagine Willian of all people as well scoring the winner. But it is all about this game. Now, do you think there is added pressure on Romelu Lukaku this season because of obviously the price tag, and obviously because of how it happened at Manchester United? He didn't really have a great time of it at Manchester United. Chelsea, he's obviously scored his first goal on his second debut for Chelsea as well. Do you think there's added pressure now that he's only out and out number 9 now?
Yes, I think when you play for Chelsea, one thing I have learned from Chelsea, I think one thing I've learned from being for Chelsea is that you have to do well, because you get criticised very easily. The stuff I remember, the slander Mason Mount was getting. People calling him Frank Lampard's, pet boy, and he's not a good player. And look what he's done. The fact he's been loved by all the managers he's played under. So there's a lot of pressure when you come to Chelsea, and Lukaku does at the end of the day have a goal scoring record behind him. He has a goal scoring record behind him. He's done it at Everton and West Brom and Inter Milan. I think Mourinho kind of, and if Mourinho ruined him, and he was at Manchester United at the worst possible time. So it's hard, and that can happen for people. So I do think there's pressure on Romelu Lukaku, and being our only number 9 and being that guy, he's going to have to score a lot of goals for us, because this team doesn't have a lot of goals outside of that. There definitely is pressure, but I think that's pressure Romelu Lukaku thrives off. He did it in Serie A. He's done it for the Belgium team, so I do think he'll thrive off it, and I do think the Premier League suits him incredibly well. So because of how physical the Premier League is, so I do think it'll work out. I think the only downside is his age. We only probably get 3 proper good seasons out of him. But as long as we could win a quadruple, for all we know within those 3 seasons. So I'm not going to worry too much yet about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Liz Golden says, I think you should give us Pulisic. I don't think Chelsea appreciate him enough. Very interesting. Kyra Weller, we will come to starting 11s very, very shortly. She thinks Hendo, Fab and Thiago will be the midfield 3. I disagree, but I will get to that very shortly. I genuinely believe it will be the midfield that's most important. If Kante has a 100% game, we'll draw at worst. That's very, very interesting. No way, Liz Golden. North American CFC fans. I was there too, live for him. Interesting. And hold to Bulldogs 1992 as well. Tuning in from Twitch, I believe that is for sure. Also, Chelsea have won the European Super Cup. And it has to be said, like Liverpool did win the European Super Cup against Chelsea. So apart from that, obviously meeting in the Super Cup, the games have been pretty close between the sides. And also, like you winning the Super Cup, and it was against Emery. I think Leicester fans will be pretty happy with you for doing that. It's been quite a good start to the season, you'd have to say. Did you expect to win the Super Cup?
The Super Cup was, it's hard because I think we were disappointed. I think Villarreal were much more up for that game than we were. Their fans, you're watching Unai Emery on the sideline was absolutely hilarious. I feel like for us, we couldn't play our best team, and by the 60, 70 minute we looked absolutely dead. Like we looked completely shattered. So to win that Super Cup, in the fact that we won the Super Cup ugly in a major European game against a team that we're well up for it is not a bad thing because you need to win games ugly in football. So I was really pleased at that aspect that we were able to win that game ugly, and especially very early on. Ziyech was obviously looking incredibly sharp. Kante had a really good game until he was subbed off. Trevor Chalobah again, incredibly good start. Trevor Chalobah, very happy he's still within the Chelsea squad. So I did think I was happy with the Super Cup. Obviously, Kepa, when I seen Kepa come off the bench, I was thinking, here we go. But no, he actually won us the game. So it's the amount of positives from our Super Cup, from Kepa getting confidence to Trevor Chalobah getting starting in a European Cup game. Kante getting more minutes, Ziyech looking good. There's so many benefits to it. So I'm incredibly pleased. So it's another trophy that we can say that we've won, and obviously because we're the biggest club in London, so that just keeps me smiling.
Yeah, absolutely. Too many bows within pitch. Thiago playing his first versus us. Christensen with that kung fu tackle to Mato. Yeah, that was shocking. Keita with that wonder goal against us. I hope Chilwell plays though, but Alonso's been great. Yeah, obviously, I'll have to talk about Marcos Alonso because I know that you're no his biggest fan.
Nope.
But he has actually started the season pretty well.
I think Alonso. I think we're seeing a very. I think basically the way I sub Marcos Alonso is he's literally Victor Moses 2.2. Is that as a wing back he's absolutely fantastic. He always arrives into the box at the right time. He arrives into the box at the right time. He scores goals. He's got a good attacking threat. He's got intelligent runs. But when you try and ask him to defend, he is absolutely diabolically awful. So, this is why I will agree with Ankle on this occasion. I would play Ben Chilwell because we're going to have to defend more against Liverpool. There will 100% be times where we're behind the caution. I don't want to watch him try and tackle Salah and keep up with Salah. I would rather not. So. I would absolutely prefer Chilwell to play this game, but against low block teams such as Crystal Palace and apparently Arsenal do these days, because Arsenal play like a mid-table club with the way they set up against us. Alonso is very, very useful, but no Alonso against Salah, please. No, just please no.
Yeah, I think that could be very, very interesting. Hello to FPL Robert Ducky. I'm guessing you're a Chelsea fan. This match is 0-0 written all over it. I really hope not, but I can see your and he's actually asked also, is Zouma gone?
Zouma, as far as I know, there's nothing immediate with Kurt Zouma, but he will be going to a club that I'm kind of annoyed he's going to, and that is I do think he's going to be going to West Ham United because West Ham do need another centre back. He wants to stay in London. 30 million for him. I think 30 million. If Ben White's 50 million, Kurt Zouma 30 million is an absolute steal for West Ham. It's going to happen. We've got Trevor Chalobah staying with the squad now, and Kjolde from Sevilla is going to be joining if he gets Kurt Zouma. So I feel bad for Zouma. I think Zouma played incredibly well under Frank Lampard. He's played well under Thomas Tuchel too. But Thomas Tuchel's won us the Champions League. I'm not going to critique anything that he's doing. It's worked so far, so it's just part of football, I guess.
Ankit says, did you see versus Arsenal, Kovacic was playing deep and Jorginho was the destroyer like Kante? So does that mean Kovacic may start?
I don't see it. I think Kante will play in this game. Kante and Kovacic, there's something with Kovacic that hasn't started this season particularly well. He's Kante Kante hasn't particularly started the season, so Kovacic hasn't started the season well. I don't think Kovacic is particularly fully fit yet. He's looked off the ball. You know, when he's had the ball, he isn't going past people as much. His position's a bit off. He's been losing the ball very easily. I just think that's down to fitness. I just don't think he's fully fit yet. He's at his max peak. So I don't see Kovacic starting. If Kante can play, it'll be Kante and Jorginho, which has been the partnership that Thomas Tuchel's trusted in every single big game possible. So as much as I understand exactly what you're saying, I can't see it. I can't see it being that way, and I do see it being Kovacic. I do see it being Jorginho and Kante against Liverpool.
Interesting. Hello to John Moore. Hope you're doing well. And hello to Downturn Abbey. Just saw the link in MBR. Oh, well, thank you very much for noticing and coming in. Sam, hello. Lukaku's stronger. Let's see what plans Klopp has up in his sleeve. Yes, that big battle, isn't it? Lukaku against Van Dijk and Matip. Now, the last time he did actually play against those two was in a 3-1 defeat for Manchester United at Anfield. And it has to be said, he didn't have the best of games, and quite simply, at the end of the game, he was actually playing on the left wing. So if we can manage to do that, it'll be a very interesting. But I think this Lukaku is a better Lukaku than the Manchester United Lukaku. Would you agree?
Yeah, see, he's fitter. He's much more fitter. He's fitter. He's slimmer. He's got a better mentality. He's got a more determination now to go and do these things. So I do think I think Tuchel uses him in the correct system in the correct way. I think that will only improve. Tuchel said after Arsenal that he plans for it to only improve. So I'm absolutely positive that we're going to see a very good Romelu Lukaku here. As you said, it's a very interesting battle with Van Dijk. I would assume Van Dijk will be on Lukaku much so, but Lukaku has done very well holding off very big centre backs. He's got the muscle to do it, so it's going to be a very key battle. It's very hard to predict the battles, incredibly hard. But I do, it's going to be a very interesting one, and along with the midfield battle is what is going to decide this game.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think Matip should start because he can't handle Lukaku in terms of speed. Well, I can see where you're coming from, but the problem with me is I don't think Konate will start. I don't see Konate starting. I think Matip is a certain start. I think Van Dijk and Matip is definitely the partnership. And then the question mark is it Tsimikas? Is it Robertson? I honestly don't know. To be fair, I think Tsimikas has had a very, very good start to the season, and I wouldn't have any problems in him starting. But him against Ziyech or him against Havertz could be a very interesting battle. But Robertson is fit as well, so it could be a really, really interesting one. But both sides have got a very, very good plethora of players in there. I mean, you just have to look at the team as well. I think obviously Rudiger, Christensen, obviously you've got Azpilicueta, who is I would probably say now he's probably in his prime years, and he's probably coming to the end, I would say. So with that being said, what are the key battles, do you think, in this game? Because I can honestly say one for immediately is Alexander-Arnold against either Alonso or Chilwell.
Yes, no, the three very key things here. The first one's Fabinho and Kante. Who's going to be the more dominant midfielder in terms of winning the ball back? Who's going to be able to stop the counter attacks, stop attacks and win balls in key positions? That's number one. It's definitely the wide areas. You love to push your fullbacks high. We love to push our wing backs high. So who's going to get the better? Who's going to get the more chance to create chances from that space? And then the other one would probably be Van Dijk and Lukaku. If Lukaku's able to hold up the ball and get other midfielders into the game, our attacks are going to be lethal. If Van Dijk stops it, we will massively struggle because we'll have no focal point up front to play it too. So those are the three battles for me.
Interesting. Lukaku's expecting the ball more at his feet to hold the ball. We just need to contain the short passes. Aerial passes won't be a concern, says Sam. I'm guessing you're a Chelsea fan, Sam, or it could be a Liverpool fan. I'm not actually sure. Just let me know in the comments. Tsimikas has impressed me twofold, but it's like the Alonso leg situation. I do expect Robertson and Chilwell to start respectively. Very interesting. Costas has done well, but Robbo will be chomping at the bit for a piece of Chelsea. Yeah, Robertson, new contract, new 5-year contract up until 2026. Obviously, I know that Chelsea and Liverpool haven't done much in the areas of obviously the transfer window, but do you think it's a good idea to tie these players down? Like Liverpool have got Alisson, Van Dijk, Trent. I think Henderson will be signing very, very soon. I also think that Salah will be signing very, very soon. What have you made of both teams' transfer windows?
I think, obviously, Liverpool have you've only signed one player, isn't it? Like Kante at centre back.
Kante. Yeah,
that's the only sign you've made, and the only sign we've made is Romelu Lukaku. So I think basically, from what I'm able to kind of gather from this, is I think both managers are very happy with their squads. I think both managers are incredibly happy with their squads. They don't feel like there's any additions that is worth spending money on. Like obviously, we signed that one position we really, really needed, and that was at striker. I think the Kante deal a bit weird for you guys because you have Gomez, you have Matip, and you had Nat Phillips from last year. But obviously, maybe Klopp felt like he needed a different type of centre back that he didn't have, so that's fair enough. And so we might be getting Sol, which I think the reason why we're getting Sol is because the offer's there. So like Atletico Madrid came to us and said, Here's an offer. We didn't go to Atletico Madrid, and Kante would only be a Kurt Zouma replacement. So I'm very. Listen, I said it. I think if you look at centre back, we've got a ton of competition. Not even Trevor Chalobah is there now. Two really good left backs. Maybe a bit short right wing back, but Callum Hudson-Odoi will probably be the backup for Reece James. Midfield, very happy, and the attack is absolutely loaded with a ton of great talent. So, and in terms of you guys, left back and right back, even as I've kind of seen in the comments there, Tim Miskins has been really, really good. Sorry, Chimikas, like I said, I do apologise. He's
just
been,
call him Greek. Just call him Greek Scouser. That's what I call him, Greek Scouser.
He's been very, very good. You've also got Trent on the right wing. Bring me a bit of an issue to back up to him. Centre back are fine. Midfield. Kante needs to stay fit, but Harvey Elliott, he's going to be like a brand new signing to you guys. And then again, I think obviously it's a bit of an issue with Salah and Mane in terms, if they obviously get injured, because obviously Shaqiri's gone, and you don't really want to be seeing Divock Origi. I'll happy to see him on Saturday, but I don't think Liverpool fans particularly want to see Divock Origi anywhere near that team. So I do think you have, I do think you have a bit of a depth issue in term up front. But as long as they stay fit, you guys are absolutely fine. And I think Liverpool, I don't think PSG, or I actually don't think that Klopp particularly wants a big squad because he knows how hard it is to keep people happy. And you do have to rotate your team quite a lot. Pep Guardiola's obviously showing that in recent years. So I think in that case, you do want to you don't want to keep a big team. So if that's Klopp's choice, then that's fair enough. It's understandable.
I think Liz agrees with you. No, we don't. Yeah, absolutely. Klopp has a core to his squad. He likes a very, very compact squad. And yeah, I can honestly understand. And I think the sellings that we've made this summer, I think obviously people going out, I think they needed to go out because they weren't really going to get game time. Harry Wilson wasn't going to get game time. Ben Woodburn's gone to Hearts on loan. I'm surprised it's a loan.
Why have you not sold him permanently? He's literally the equivalent of Kennedy for us. Can we just say Sauer Costa leaving to Atalanta on permanent was literally made this transfer window 10 times better, getting one of those guys off the wage bill. Frankly, and Drinkwater's contract's up at the end of the year too, so we're getting rid of the dead players finally. It's good to see.
Yeah, to be fair, we've managed to sell a lot of players as well. I think I've heard Karius might be just getting released completely, which doesn't surprise me anyway. The fact that we still got him is ridiculous anyway. And I do believe Nat Phillips might be going as well. But yeah, I mean, Liverpool have actually done, I think, pretty well in the transfer market. Yes, maybe not on the sort of incomings, but as we've obviously talked about, is that Klopp likes a really short, compact squad. And to be fair, I think the squad is actually going to need freshening up eventually, but maybe not to every. Well, obviously, stay off Twitter. Honestly, stay off Twitter. Oh, dearie me. But we're not here to talk about Twitter. So my question to you is, what is your starting 11 for Chelsea on Saturday?
Starting at 11. So in goal, Edward Mendy, very reliable, great goalkeeper, very play to him. What a stand he was. Like, definitely a season change sign for us last window. But three centre backs. Antonio Rudiger would be left centre back, Andres Christensen middle centre back, and then Azpilicueta right centre back. I think we need a bit of pace in the back line, so I don't think this is a game for Thiago Silva, and Thiago Silva isn't particularly fully fit yet, so Roche should be my back three. Kante, Jorginho in the midfield, the best partnership we have, especially for the bigger sides. Chilwell for Alonso for speed and defensive reasons. I just don't think Alonso will be useful in this game because there will be space to attack, but trying to run back, recovery runs, trying to tackle, no, not going to work. Reece James right wing back for sure, and then Lukaku up front with Timo. I would put Kai Havertz on the bench for this game for Timo Werner. I feel like we need Timo Werner's pace in this game. Werner's pace will probably help. I think Kai Havertz is more of a low block team. More of a low block counter-attack type team. So, and then I think Timo Werner should come in for his pace, and then Mason Mount for sure as the third attacker.
Boo, just practicing for Saturday. Yeah, absolutely. I can understand what he's saying. I can understand what he's saying, Cairo. I really do. So, he's a Chelsea fan. So, my team is this. So, I've got Alisson, Trent, Matip, Van Dijk, Robertson. I've gone Robertson over Tsimikas, Fabinho, Keita, Henderson, Salah, Mane, Jota. Then the bench, Kelleher, Konate, Gomez, Tsimikas, Thiago, Oxlade, Chamberlain, Minamino, Firmino, and Elliott. I have to say, looking at that, that's our strongest bench for a long, long time.
I think it's the strongest bench you've had probably in your whole time, I would say.
I think it is.
Just obviously, Kelleher, very good young promising goalkeeper. Kante's very good. Gomez, incredible. Timaskas has obviously done it very well in place. Thiago, brilliant player to bring off the bench. Chamberlain, Thiago's a fantastic midfielder. Chamberlain, he's a really good player. He's always got a screamer in him. I'm surprised you've still kept Minamino. Obviously, maybe Klopp is going to give him a chance at the end.
Yeah. I think he's going to get more chances than Origi. I think if Origi doesn't go within the next, we're the 25th today, so we've got 6 days of the transfer window left. I would honestly say that I think Minamino will stay, and I think Origi could be the one to go. Apparently, there's a lot of German clubs in for him as well. So
Firmino's in probably one of his best forms of his Liverpool tenure in terms of goal scoring and impact. And then Elliott is a fantastic young player, a creative player who you could probably bring off the bench with some creativity. Obviously, he's looking to play in a magnitude of this game against an incredibly well-drilled Chelsea team, so it's the right decision. But honestly, he could come off the bench if you need him for sure.
And the last time Fabinho, Keita, Henderson played in the midfield against Chelsea, we won 2-0. Salah double. Never seem to remember.
That's the game about the Stamford Bridge, wasn't it, when we went down to 10 men?
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was.
And Jorginho missed that penalty to make it 2-1, which could have made the game a bit.
Oh yeah. I do remember that hop, skip, and the jump.
It was a terrible decision from Christensen, though. It was such a bad tackle to go down to 10 men. That completely ruined the game because we were in the game up until that point.
Bloody, what's his face? Paul Tierney brought a yellow to begin with. It was a straight red. Even I could see that was a straight red. I think Liz agrees with me. I think Taki's going to see way more minutes than Origi. Yeah, absolutely as well. Who's that behind the stat? Stephen has gone for Liverpool 2, Chelsea 1. We will get to score predictions very, very quickly as well. But yeah, looking at that team, obviously, I think the big question marks are definitely Robertson over Tsimikas. Fabinho, I know he's just lost his dad, but then again, I could see him coming straight back in as well. And then obviously the big question mark is obviously, do you play Jota or do you play the Bobby Dazzler. For me, I think it's Jota. And as I've said, I don't think Origi gets a place on the bench, and I think that's what happens as well, because the Liverpool front three are not really strikers. They're more false nine players. Obviously, Salah and Mane are obviously wingers, but Jota, I don't think he is a number 9 as such, but he has actually thrived there as well. But I have to say, from looking at that team, I think we can get at Chelsea. I honestly do. I think Rudiger is not the quickest. Christensen's not the quickest, and Azpilicueta is definitely not the quickest. So I think if we can get at your back line, and obviously if it is Alonso, then I'll be happy, because I don't rate him as a left back. I think he's better as a left wing back. Reece James, I think Reece James is a very, very good player, and I do think him and Robertson will be a very, very good. A very, very good key battle, for sure. So where do you think the joy could come from Chelsea in this game?
That's a really good question, because I actually don't think there's going to be too much joy in this game. I don't think it's going to be as much as I don't think it's going to be such places that we're going to get elements of joy. I think it's more of the fact who wins the battles. I don't see this game being a game where we're going to find the wing instead of midfield or anything. I think this is going to be a really evenly matched game, and see everyone's doing individual battles in the midfield, the attack and the defence, and the wing backs versus fullbacks. So I just don't see there being a situation where there's too much enjoyment as such. I just think the only thing I can say is that if you go full on attack, we'll have plenty of space to counter attack. But I don't see that being the way. I don't think Klopp's not dumb. He's going to know what Chelsea are going to try and do. So I do see this game being more of a man-to-man battle, and whoever wins those battles will have the success, rather than it being a certain element on the pitch that gets a success. Because when you're going to Anfield with a fully packed crowd, they're in a good run forward. They've got their team fully fit. The fans are going to be up for this game. Chelsea have to dig deep. They have to be focused. They have to have the right mentality. They've got to do the dirty work right. And that's the only way we'll get a win here. And I think the defensive side of things is the most important thing this game, rather than the attacking side.
Absolutely, yeah. And as you say, Chelsea don't have a really good record against Liverpool anyway. Obviously at Stamford Bridge, and obviously at Anfield. Obviously, last season being a bit of a, well, let's be honest. I think we would have even struggled with centre back partnerships that we had as well. So, question to you now is score prediction. What are you going to go for?
Well, I'm going to go for 1 each. I think this is going to be a very, very. I think it's going to be a very, very well matched game. I think it's going to be a very well even game. It's going to be a really, really, really good game. Really good tactical battle. I don't think Chelsea are going to have enough to win this game. I just think like going to Anfield is a very big task, and I think we will probably play in as such not to lose. As such, I feel like we will play more of a back five than a back three this game. I think we'll not attack and push everyone as forward as much. But Liverpool just have too much of a good team, too much of a good form. The fans going to be up for this game, and you're back to your relentless self. I just think a point will be our result, but I will take that point, because I've said to people, I think a point away to Anfield 3 weeks into the season, get that game out of the way and take a point. That's a brilliant result for us. So I would happily take that.
Interesting. Who's that behind the stats? Says, let's not forget we beat Chelsea comfortably when we had a fully fit squad at their own ground. We will gather their full back and get them on the back foot. Lukaku couldn't even bully Klein. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Nathaniel Klein was the starting right back in that game, that 3-1 win against Manchester United, the Shaqiri double as well. I think, as I've said, I think we can get your centre backs. I think we can get your full backs as well. I think the midfield battle will be key, and then it's a question if Van Dijk or Matip can keep Lukaku quiet, Mason Mount quiet, and as you say, probably Werner/Havertz. If we do that, I think we win the game. So I am going to go Liverpool 2, Chelsea 0. I think Mohamed Salah will score, and I'm going to go for a cheeky Naby Keita goal, because he did get one in the 5-3 game when we won the league. So I've got a feeling if he can stay fit for the entire season, I do think that I'm looking forward to this game. But yeah, I think if we can win the midfield battle, I think that'll be absolutely key, and the crowd behind us as well. I'm going to go 2-0.
That's fair enough, and it's gonna be a very good game, and I most definitely look forward to talking on the World of Football podcast about your result afterwards.
Absolutely. Kyra Weller says 3-1 Liverpool win. Original Gunner, evening to you, my friend. I'm saying Liverpool 2, Chelsea 1. But as I'm an Arsenal fan, Chelsea tore us apart, so I wouldn't be shocked if Chelsea get a win. Yeah, Liverpool-Chelsea games are always really difficult to call. Liverpool 2-0 win. Yep, I have gone for 2-0 Cairo. I have gone for 2-0 as well. But before we go, because obviously it is the eve of the Champions League group stage draw, how are you feeling?
Nervous, quite nervous, because Pot 2 is actually harder than Pot 1 this year. All the teams in Pot 1 that we're in is, Lille, who are looking distraughtily bad in the French league. They literally look atrocious. They fell apart. Villarreal are even worse. They fell apart. Senate aren't particularly a great team. Let it go. At least we don't have to get Atletico Madrid. I'm pleased about that. I would have despised to play them in the group stage. I'm happy we don't have to play them. But I think you could play PSG with Messi, Real Madrid with Mbappe potentially, and then I just don't know. I just don't fancy it. If there was any teams, I would take probably Borussia Dortmund. I probably would take Dortmund. I do feel like that'd be a really, really good game. I would love to see us go away to Dortmund. I would take Barcelona because they're a shambles. I don't think they'll do particularly well in the Champions League. It's really difficult. There's not a lot of teams I particularly want.
Well, I did see a worst case scenario for you guys. It was Chelsea, PSG, Ajax, AC Milan.
If that happens, yeah, hello, Thursday Night Football. That's how that.
And then I did see another one. I think it was Chelsea. Was it Chelsea's? Was it Chelsea, Dortmund, Zenit, Dynamo Kiev? I think, or Dynamo Kiev, Sheriff. I think.
That's fair enough.
But yeah, Cairo. I hope that doesn't happen as well. But big news. Obviously, I don't know if anyone has seen, but I will be live tomorrow, 4:50, with the Champions League group stage draw. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be live. I'm going to have a panel as well. After the draw is made, I will be staying on for another 30 minutes, and people can come into the stream and react to the draw. Just come and talk to us as well. I'm really looking forward to that as well. But that is all we have time for on this match preview. A big thank you to Josh for coming on and talking all things Chelsea as well. I tell you, that could happen. That could happen. We know what their luck is with draws, right?
Yeah, I hope they get a group of death for once in their life. I really do, but I can't see it.
No, I can't see it. But Josh, thank you very much for coming on and talking all things Chelsea. What is coming up on your channel this week?
Well, I'm extremely excited. Incredibly excited to be back at Glenavon games this Friday. We start off with basically the best way I can explain it to anybody who doesn't have a clue or no one knows anything about Irish football. This is basically our opening game is the equivalent of hatred between Rangers and Celtic, and that's not even an exaggeration. It's us and Portadown. We've been given Portadown away. Portadown away as our opening game of the season Friday night, so it's gonna be fun. And I just want to say very quickly, I have to have a quick rant here. So obviously COVID, blah blah. Over here in Northern Ireland, this is what really annoys me. There was 10,000 people going. There's 10,000 people going to a concert on Saturday. Okay, in a stand that holds 650 people, we've only been given 450 tickets, which I think is an absolute joke. Like it's an app, basically to say that the government has basically said to the clubs and the councils, it's your responsibility how many fans you're allowed in. But technically, by law, they're allowed. There's no law that with the amount of crowds, with the amount of people are allowed in. but they're not allowed to have people. They're not allowed to have full
jeez.
crowds in because of the council. It's really shit. I hope it gets solved really soon, but I'll be there on Friday. I will be doing a match day vlog for it. I'm also happy to announce that from next week I'll be doing a preview for every single game each week. Sometimes I'll be with fans such as you and Owen this week, and sometimes it'll just be by myself, depending if I can't get anyone. So yes, I've got as I said, I've got James Pearce from the Athletic, a Liverpool correspondent, coming on my channel later on in the season, probably November, December time. So I'm hoping I'm in touch with some Chelsea ones too. So I'm working hard. I need to stop being lazy and going to bed after work and actually get onto my camera and record and stuff. So it's just laziness from me, but I will absolutely sort it out.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, go and check Josh's channel. It should be in the description. I realized when we went live it wasn't. So what I will do after the stream is ended, I will definitely put his channel into the stream down below. Lukaku to destroy Liverpool this weekend. I hope that doesn't happen. Res to be in tears. No, I hope that doesn't happen either. Murray Drummond, thank you very much for tuning in, my friend. But that is it for the Liverpool Chelsea match preview. Guys, if you have missed this live, and hopefully if you enjoy the replay, then please hit that subscribe button. Go and subscribe to Josh's channel as well, and we will see what happens on Saturday. But until then, it's goodbye from both of us, and we will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye for now.